Welcome back, viewers, to Careers Best Show. My name is Monique Adams, and it's a Friday, which means our Careers publication is out. And in our front page of our Careers publication, it's the gentleman sitting right next to me, the new CEO of RMB, Mr. Philip Chapman. Thank you so much for joining me in studio today.
Hi, Monique. It's great to be here and have a few words with you.
Okay, so let's just get into the interview. So would you please tell our viewers and myself just a little bit of briefly a background story of who Philip Chapman is, where he was born, his tertiary education, and so on?
So I'm Philip Chapman, as you've heard. I grew up on a farm close to Gobabis. I started my schooling career out in Gobabis, and I eventually matriculated from Windhoek High School, after which I completed my BCom with law degree from the University of Stellenbosch, and I followed that up with a further honors degree in economics. So I guess that's a little bit of my educational background and where I'm from.
Great. So your career journey, how has it been for you so far, leading up to being the new CEO of RMB?
I guess it's exactly as you said, it's been a journey.
Yes.
I was fortunate enough to be able to work firstly on an internship program, call it across multiple countries, and eventually I joined a graduate program which was also Pan-African, where I really had an opportunity to, call it, get to know different cultures, understand how different people work and how different industries operate. So that was kind of the introduction to my journey. And from there on, I guess I've been, again, fortunate to be able to work across multiple, call it, product and industry, banking industry related areas, and specifically then specializing in corporate and investment banking, up to where I now joined RMB as CEO.
So as you mentioned, it's been a journey. So with journey, you've stumbled across, potholes and everything. So would you just mention a few challenges you faced and how you've overcome them?
I think one of the key challenges is finding balance throughout this journey, because I think at times you are working hard, long hours, and at other times you kind of spend more time with your family. So I think balance is the one key thing that if you can get it right, it makes your journey a whole lot easier. And I think it's something one really needs to focus on, looking at your work life, at your family life, your faith, your health and wellness, and also your call it how you exercise.
Yes.
So I think that's key, that you find a balance in how you go about things.
Yeah, and in the article you've mentioned you're still trying to find a balance.
Yes, it's interesting because different times have different demands, and when work kind of calls, it's difficult to fit in all the other stuff. But at the same time, you have to focus. It's up to yourself to make that change.
So after every storm, there's a rainbow. So what are some of the achievements or highlights in your career journey that really stands out for you?
So as you mentioned, at the end of every storm, there's a rainbow. And certainly in Namibia, we've seen quite a few rainbows over the past few weeks. For me, I guess a key highlight is when I returned to Namibia back in 2011. It was great to come home. And it was great to be able to make a contribution and to, call it, facilitate and participate in how we can grow and sustain Namibia as a country, as an economy. That has been a key highlight for me. And I mean, it's been 10 years since I'm back, and I just love it here.
Wow. Well, we love you being back. You're making really big moves over here. So what does Mr. Chapman get up to when he's not busy at the office, paperwork and meetings after meetings? What do you do in your free time? What do you enjoy doing in your free time? So
I am a huge aviation enthusiast. I was fortunate to be able to qualify as a pilot, I think back in 2012. So in my free time, I spend time in the sky. I love to fly and just see the landscapes and get out to different places. And otherwise, I love farming. I grew up on a farm, so on weekends I often go out to the farm and just spend time looking at the cattle and see what can be done. Yeah, so I guess that's the two call it hobbies that I spend most of my time on.
Mm-hmm. As you mentioned, you're a qualified pilot. So I'm just throwing it in there. You know, if you fly, perhaps just call us Careers We here so we can do like an outside broadcast, you know, have the people, you know, in Philip Chapman's little life. That would be fun.
I'll keep it in mind for next time.
Thank you. So anyone that's watching that's young and feels very inspired reading your article in this interview, what advice would you give them?
I think it's important to realize that the journeys ain't always easy, but it's important that we pursue them with the necessary conviction to overcome whichever obstacles you may find on your journey. So I think that's key, is have tenacity, focus on your journey and work hard. I guess maybe the second bit to add to it is to also say, set yourself really, call it big, audacious goals, something to strive at, something to go for. And you will be surprised at how easily you can achieve those goals if you set them and you pursue them with the necessary vigor and discipline.
I totally agree with you, Mr. Chapman, but this is the part I hate of the show, is when we say goodbye to our guests. But I really enjoyed the article. You're a very inspiring man. I know you would inspire a lot of young people out there. And again, if you fly, you're in the sky. Please do not hesitate to hit us up so we can join you. Well, Mr. Chapman, this has been a lovely interview. I wish you nothing but the best with RMB as the new CEO and with your journey.
Thank you very much. And as I mentioned often, the future of this country is in the youth, call it, making a big contribution to the success of Namibia. So to all the young people out there, give it your best shot and go for it. Namibia is our country.
Yes.
We should be proud of it, and we should really do what is required to make it happen for us.
Wise words from a wise man. There you have it, guys. This is Careers Bistro. We have to leave. It's been really fun. I hope you guys found this interview very informative. I know I did, and very inspiring as well. My name is Monique Adams. This is Mr. Philip Chapman, the CEO of RMB. This is Careers Bistro. Catch us again next time, next Friday. And yeah, enjoy the weekend.